Okay, folks, I have a serious problem, and I'd like your input. Some parasites are eating my house. These are the particular kind of parasites, you might have heard of them. They're termite politicians. They're a type of parasite, basically. So, first, here's what I'm thinking. Let me know your thoughts on this. Should I start an anti-parasite blog online, like in the community can all say like really negative things about termite politician parasites? How about that? See if that just scares them off. See if they like start reading it and get intimidated and just leave the house and you know stop eating it. Okay, next one. How about this? Let's pick it around the sidewalk. Okay, around and around the house with megaphones and big signs and condemn the parasite politicians as immoral parasite politicians and see if that scares them off. Because I would be scared if somebody like had megaphones and said, "Hey," especially like in the a part of the audio spectrum or whatever, part of the spectrum where I can't hear. It's like if people come around with dog whistles. Ooh, that just drives me nuts. If like a bunch of people got dog whistles and painted signs in like Chinese, which I don't read, right? They painted signs in Chinese saying, we hate people that wear glasses, and then they got their whistles, and we hate humans, and they blow, and they just go around and around on the sidewalk, and I can't hear it, and I can't read what the signs say. That's what I'm thinking. We'll try something like that and see if it just, maybe the termite politicians will learn how to read Chinese. You understand? Or maybe their hearing range will change. Because in the past, they've never been responsive to that. So I figure let's try it again. Okay, now, third thing, those are the first two. The first one, just to remind you, was a blog. We'll do like this online thing, YouTube videos, and, say, ooh, those termite politicians are termite politicians and they're eating the house and they shouldn't be. And they're immoral and stuff like that. Okay, so that was the first one. The second one was the megaphones and the big signs in Chinese with the dog whistles that the termites can't even hear. Ooh, that reminds me though, there's little vibration things they're supposed to drive off termites, but there's they're expensive, and you know what? We shouldn't have to do that because this is a moral issue, okay? It's about principle. So anyway, number 3 is how about we pass an amendment? We pass an amendment to the Constitution of the UN or the EU or USA or state of Arizona, whatever. Pass an amendment to the Constitution that prohibits parasites from eating the house, at least from eating my house. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. I have some notes down here. It prohibits them from eating so fast, so they can't eat the house quite as quickly, okay? Or even prohibits them from being in the vicinity of the house. We could just prohibit them from being termite politicians. We can pass an amendment that will change them into butterflies, like, because the thing with caterpillars? I was thinking about something like that. So again, I'd like your input because I'm totally new at this. I've been doing it for about, 25 years. I've been like criticizing politicians, and I'm just looking for some new, new blood, new energy, new people to come in and just, really bring some new vitality to the criticizing politician termite parasite thing. Anybody? Cool. Okay. All right. Oh, you? And you? Oh, that's awesome. See how many of us there are? There's so many of us. That must mean we're right. Okay. So, anyway, that I did want your input on that problem, but that wasn't the serious problem. That was a different thing. The serious problem is that I think that speculative demand for something like silver or gold is stable. I'll explain this a little further. Speculative demand is when people want silver or gold not for some immediate functional application like to use it themselves, but just to hoard it based on the speculation that it might hold its value or even increase value relative to absolutely everything else. So speculative demand for stocks, like you buy a bunch of stocks and it doesn't improve the finances of AIG or Fannie Mae or IBM or, you know, Microsoft or whatever when you buy their stocks. It doesn't do anything to their finances, right? But there's a speculative boom because people think it might gain value in the future. See? Or in real estate. Of course, with real estate, you get maybe if you rent it out, you get some income from your tenants. Or with stocks, you could get dividends if the company doesn't go out of business. So, about silver and gold, though, that's the particular issue here. Anybody have some thoughts on this? Anybody? Probably never thought about this before, right? Okay, so when people have an interest in something, a demand for something that's just based on a possible or speculative, expectation about future value for resale, that's speculative demand. So that's called a bubble of speculative demand. And the speculative demand for silver and gold may be even greater than for real estate or stocks. And that's my serious problem, is that I think that speculative demand for something like silver or gold or real estate or stocks might be stable. That's my serious problem. So just wanted to share that, and any input you guys have, I really would appreciate. Anyway, I did want to note here that I got an apology note from the termite parasite politicians. So actually, I don't need any input because I just came in like while we were making the video. Don't need any input on that issue. They're congratulating me. Congratulations on buying that new megaphone with gold and silver coating. They had told me it would be a very good investment back in, I don't know, was it 1980 or 2010? I forget when it was, but they said, these are really great investments. They hold their value very well. And anyway, the apology here is we're really, really sorry. We couldn't have predicted that silver would have fallen 50% in value almost in the last several months since your purchase in early 2011. Yeah. Wow, this seems like, gosh, about the 5th time that I've taken the investment advice advice based on the PR announcements of the termite parasite politicians. It is really hard to talk sometimes. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that. Like sometimes you're like talking with your mouth or with your hands, and suddenly this sound just shuts off, and you just your hand's still moving, but you know what I mean? So this sounds like the 15th time or the 5th time or whatever that I've taken investment advice based on the PR announcements of the termite parasite politicians, and I wonder what they're advising next. Do you wonder too? Well, let's look right here in the note. They advised me to send in cockroaches to handle the termite parasite politician problem with the eating of my house thing and the decay of the infrastructure and stuff. I can tell that's just a trick though, because I know that cockroaches have no morals and are filthy and ugly and shiny and black. And if the termite parasite politicians are trying to get me to send in cockroaches, then obviously I should rebel against that. So instead, I will go on a crusade to fight against cockroaches because the termite parasite politicians claim to want me to send in cockroaches, and I hate the termite parasite politicians, so I must rebel against them. And I have that megaphone still, and I could get some big signs and some dog whistles. You guys, are you available like for the next 4 months? We just quit your jobs and occupy the sidewalk of the house where the termite parasite politicians are. It'll be great. I'll serve some water. You guys thirsty? In the next 3 months, you might get thirsty. Come over. I got water. So anyway, so yeah. I get the idea. See, I'm pretty clever. I've caught on to these, these little notes that these termite parasite politicians send around, and I know what's going on. There's that old wives' tale about how cockroaches will eat termites and rescue your house from being eaten by termites and stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for that. I'm clever. Yeah, I'm a clever type of guy. So I know what they're trying to do. Those parasite termite politicians. They're trying to trick me into wasting my time with irrelevant endeavors. I am smarter than that. I've caught on to them now. See? And I condemn the termite parasite politicians and their trickery. It's like I condemn Stephen Colbert for trying to be like pretending. Those guys that are pretending there's actors on TV. I mean, it's so insincere and inauthentic. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just the second while I check my script. So I've caught on to them now, and I condemn the termite parasite politicians. That's right. I sit here at my computer keyboard, like the computer keyboard right there, see? And I sit right there at it, right there. That's me sitting. Here I am. I'm sitting, and here's the computer keyboard. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fervently condemn the termite parasite politicians. I'm typing an email or forwarding an email right now. I'm condemning the termite parasite politicians for taking advantage of my total negligence and ideological blindness and eating my house while I sit here typing stuff like emails and making YouTube videos and stuff. Okay, so they should not do that. I'm busy typing right now. They should not, I can't talk with my hands and type at the same time. This is like a conundrum. It's like a conundrum or a dilemma. I don't know which. What's the better word to use here? I'll check. You can send me your opinions. Okay, so what we've got here is a thing that should not be how it is, because the termite parasite politicians should not be termite parasite politicians, and they should be more responsive to dog whistles and big signs and Egyptian hieroglyphs or whatever. They should be more responsive. Okay, I mean they promised that they would be. So they're using. I think what's going on here is they're using propaganda. That's what I think. They should not be allowed to tell people what should not be allowed. Okay, why should these parasite termite politicians be allowed to tell people what should not be allowed? I don't know. They're using propaganda, which, according to their own propaganda, is immoral. See how that works? Okay, and no one should do it because it is immoral. So they should stop. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to tell it like it is. And support a candidate who tells it like it is. Because that's what needs to happen right now, is some telling it like it is. That's what needs to be happening right now. I'm going to type that in my Yahoo group and on my Facebook. People should tell it like it is. And condemn politicians for being so political. Okay. And those politicians should definitely not eat my house. Gets me so frustrated. Okay, we should elect a candidate who tells it like it is. And you probably should elect me because I tell it like it is. The termite politician parasites are just a bunch of termite politician parasites, and I am shocked that they're eating my house. Still, I mean, it's been going on for, 25 years or something, about as long as I've had this house. But anyway, they're liars, and at least they should have written me an email, because that's, a good way to reach me, because this was in my mailbox for like 3 weeks before I even checked. Anyway, they should just email me and notify me that they're going to eat my house unless I took some precautions, so they should have warned me. It was only fair. Like, they're immoral. I condemn that, okay? No, are you getting this? I condemn how immoral they are. Okay? They should not be doing the stuff they're doing. Don't you agree with me? Come on. Okay, so come on, people. Like, get your megaphones with silver and gold coating and let's condemn stuff, okay? Um, so, yeah. So they're impolite and they're unfair. And these termite parasite politicians, I mean, they're insects, basically. And they shouldn't be, okay? They're morally despicable. And they eat houses and damage infrastructures and economic functionality and stuff. And they really should not, okay? I mean, listen to what their propaganda says. The propaganda says politicians shouldn't do that kind of thing. And yet that's what they do. And the propaganda says there is no such thing as propaganda and there shouldn't be. And I think that's weird. You know, it's just like, I'm a clever guy, but that's weird. Like, what's up with that, you know? I condemn it. I condemn all of that. Ugh. So, yeah, they told me themselves in their anti-parasite political propaganda that parasitism is very bad and it can damage infrastructure when termites eat houses, and that's what they're doing. Like, that's all they're doing. And that's why I'm faithfully condemning them, because they told me to. And I'm very loyal to them. I don't know if you realize that little twist on the whole situation is that I'm very loyal to these parasite termite politicians that I'm condemning. Very loyal to them. I pay a lot of attention to them. I watch them all the time on CNN and MSNBC and Facebook and YouTube. All these things condemning them. I'm very, very loyal because I'm a clever guy, and clever guys are loyal. I don't know if you got that. Okay. So anyway, fundraising. Fundraising. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, fundraising. I have some antique telegraphs. Still in the box, never used. And as you all know, these are really great hedges against hyperinflation. So if you buy the whole group today, which will go to support our whole program to condemn parasite termite politicians, if you buy the whole group today, all of those antique telegraphs that I have, I'll throw in that megaphone with the gold and silver coating. That's right, for no additional charge. Customer service agents are standing by. You can donate online, like you don't even have to leave your computer keyboard right there. You can donate online. Call now while supplies last. Place your order and keep on condemning politicians heroically and boldly from your computer keyboard and stuff. Oh, you people, you inspire me. That's why I have 2 thumbs up, okay? Keep up the good condemnation. And, if you have any feedback and ideas about, the whole thing about the dog whistles and the termites in my house, like, if you got an extra house, anybody, let me know. I could appreciate it, especially one that doesn't have any termites in it. Thanks so much. I'm J.R. Fibonacci. At least that's what I say. That's what people call me.